Ahoy hoy y'all, how we doing today? It's ARCA night in America. We're at Michigan today. And Ty Gibbs looking extremely fast as usual. How's everybody going? I see Landon, Ashton, Dibslin, Lindsay, Moffat Cast. Who else is here? How we doing today, y'all? Hope we're ready for some Michigan racing. I feel like it's going to be one of them days where Ty Gibbs, I think, actually is going to run away with this, given what we saw in practice today. Practice, he was almost 7/10 faster than the field. It's MAVTV and Trackpass, Ashton. Garth time! That's what I like to see. Yes, MAVTV and Trackpass for today. Hey, Bussin'. Garth Vader. You know what's funny is they did call me that a lot in elementary school. I do remember that. I don't know what that says for you calling me that now, but... oh, you'll be at the Cup race Sunday. Nice. I was supposed to be at Michigan today, and then they tightened up the COVID restrictions again and made it not worth me going. So I won't be there, and I won't be at Springfield on Sunday, and everything for the rest of the season is TBD at this point, depending on what COVID restrictions look like. So, yay! So much for being at every race for the rest of the season. There's the friendly face we all know and love. Well, friendly may not be the right word to describe it, but yes, it is the face you all know and love. So the new route... Ashton, the new route that we were supposed to play last night, I told Steam to download it while I was at work yesterday, and it didn't. So it wasn't ready to go till like 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. So we're going to do that tonight. So the starting lineup for today is based on owner points. Ty Gibbs and Corey Heimer, your front row. Drew Dollar, Thad Moffitt, Nick Sanchez, the rest of the top five. Gracie Trotter will start sixth. Morgan Baird starts seventh. Tim Richmond eighth. Brandon Varney. Barney's back. He'll start ninth. DL Wilson 10th. Tony Cosentino 11th. Brad Smith 12th. Kyle Seek 13th. Zachary Tinkle 14th. Sam Mayer's in the 23 car for Brett Holmes this week. He'll start 15th. Scott Melton's in the 69. He'll start 16th. Connor Mozak in the 02 for Young, 17th. Greg Von Alst will start 18th. Jason Kitzmiller, 19th. And Jeffrey Maxzink in the 65 car will start 20th. That's a good question, Robert. That is a question for NASCAR. They had a 30-minute practice session that was run in groups, and nobody got more than 5 laps of practice, so it was pretty much worthless. I don't know why... I don't know. I don't know. Who's going to win the truck race? Ooh, I don't know. I haven't paid any attention to what they're doing today. Well, I guess they didn't have practice in qualifying, did they? So they haven't done anything today. So I'd like to see Eckes win. Every single year he's been fast at that track. He's so good at Gateway. And for one reason or another, he's always... gotten that win taken away from him, so I'd like to see Eckes win. Yeah, I'm starting to think this one's going to be a tie runaway too, Lindsay. Barney, our boy. Oh, I thought you were going for boy like B-O-I. DL, the legend himself. That's right. Matt Crafton's a solid guess for Gateway. That wouldn't surprise me. I'm disappointed ARCA's not back at Gateway this year. Especially given the trucks are there. That's the weirdest thing to me. Trucks are there, but ARCA's not. He really does need it. He really does. Although, he may not need it as bad as you think. Todd would be a good guess too. Todd's had a really good season so far. Austin Hill wouldn't be surprising either. But we're on an ARCA watch party right now, so who you got for this race? Ashton's got Sheldon. Yes, Casey is at the track today. Casey made the decision that I didn't make to still go to the track. Oh yeah, that's right, IndyCar is there. Which, I mean, the thing is, it's always usually a triple header weekend. IndyCar, Trucks, and ARCA. And for whatever reason, they didn't send ARCA this year. I don't know if it was because it was this weekend, and ARCA was already more packed than they wanted to be with Michigan and Springfield this weekend. That's probably why. With arms wide open. Yeah, F1's still on their summer break. They don't come back. Is it next weekend they come back? I think it's next weekend. Yeah, Ty's probably the solid guess. Hey, Brian. Nemechek is probably a very solid pick for Gateway, too. At this point, Nemechek is like the go-to in every truck race, just like Gibbs is probably the go-to in every ARCA race, even though he's not won as many races as everybody thinks he's going to. Oh, hi, Charlie. Oh, is Charlie watching the watch party now, too? Oh, boy. Everybody be cool. Don't say anything bad about Charlie. It's a song by the band Creed. Oh, yeah. I was pretty sure I knew what you were going for there. I couldn't fully place the song, though. Gateway has moved up. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that's... My guess is that's why Gateway didn't happen this year for ARCA. Norm had a 28. Yeah. That was quite the drama for Gateway today. So wait, Greg Von Alst still can't. I didn't realize Greg Von Alst was actually running as a rookie. That's interesting. How old is he? And he's running as a rookie? My guess is Charlie was watching over Casey's shoulder. Oh, nice. Got that multi-stream set up, Ashton. I like it. I know. That's the point, Dibsland. I like Charlie, too. I wouldn't say anything bad about him. It was a joke. Talked with everyone on the grid. Casey's been busy today. How did you do that if they're not letting anybody in the garage? Wait, then how are you watching the race on your iPad, Ashton? Do you have MAVTV? Did he really? Rookie of the Year in what? ARCA? I think this is going to be...
For those of you that pay attention to the practice numbers, they know that Corey Heim was way off the pace in that abbreviated 30-minute practice session where this team got about 5 laps. I asked Shannon Rush about it. He said, absolutely, just throw it out the window. I simply had Corey Heim way too loose. Car not very cooperative at all, so they've made some major changes. But I will tell you also one thing, that if you followed all of the coverage of the ARCA Menard Series this year, if your team struggles, they generally come back, especially Corey Heim's team. Too much talent over there in that Venturini Motorsports team, led, of course, by Shannon Rush, Kevin Reed, Billy Venturini. There's a lot of minds over there, and they know what's at stake for this man. As far as enjoying this championship ride, Corey Heim says, yeah.
Okay, so... maybe not as much to worry about with Corey tonight as what it may have seemed like in practice. Because, again, it was only like 5 laps, so... I mean, that's the thing. The practice session was more of like a shakedown than anything. You go out and make sure there's nothing broke on the car. That's That's about all you can learn in 4, 5, 6 laps. But given the practice times, Ty was 0.6 faster than second. Corey was 10th on the chart, 1.9 seconds off of the time that Ty laid down. But apparently, according to Dave Reef, Shannon Rush, the crew chief, just had him way too loose. Apparently, they think they fixed it, so we'll see what he actually looks like in the race. May not be as bad as what practice would have indicated. Charlie says to everyone to have a good race. Thanks, Charlie.
Michigan International Speedway is going to be a blast today for the ARCA Series. We're about to crank these engines here and get them out onto the 2-mile racetrack. And I believe once we go green...
I'm confused. What in there was a that's what she said? I'm not... I don't know. That's one you're going to have to explain, MAVTV. I'm apparently missing something here. Zach Tinkle to the 20 in 2022. That would be interesting. I mean, to be completely honest, in his couple of starts, Zach Tinkle's not done terrible in that 06 car. Given the equipment he's in, he's done pretty well. The thing is, I don't know that the Wayne Peterson cars are as bad as they seem to be most weeks. And I think that's what we're finding with those cars and with the fast track cars. You put somebody in those cars that actually can be fast, they're going to run pretty decently well with them. Mason Mingus showed that with a fast track car. We already have Nicole Bell. Oh boy. Y'all are something else. So, they didn't even put the practice results up. Interesting. Well, let me see if I can pull those up on Racing Reference to see if we can get an idea of maybe how things are going to go tonight. But again, take Corey Heim being so far off with a grain of salt, because they have supposedly fixed the looseness issue that he had. So, let's see here. Where's the practice results? Oh, they didn't even... Okay. Well, I guess we'll go to the RNN tweet, because apparently there's no record of practice results anywhere. On Racing Reference, on ARCA's site, anywhere. So, I only tweeted the top 10 from the RNN account. So, Ty Gibbs was fastest with Nick Sanchez almost 0.7 off in second. Drew Dollar was third fastest. Connor Mozak was fourth fastest in practice. And Gracie Trotter also in the top 5 and 5th. So that's a couple names that could be pretty fast today. Kyle Sieg was 6th fastest. Sam Mayer was 7th. Brandon Varney in a fast track car was 8th fastest. Thad Moffitt was 9th. And as we mentioned, Corey Heim was 10th fastest. So, again, not sure how much you can actually glean from that, given none of them got any more than about 5 laps of practice. Hey, Jason. But could be at least a bit of an indication on how things are going to go tonight.
The cars are pulling off pit.
So many grandpappies. Well, you're not necessarily wrong.
T-shaped oval is going to provide plenty of excitement today for the 20 cars in the starting field at front.
Oh man, you gotta get Trackpass, Ashton. $3 a month, and when they're not having technical issues, it's really nice to have, and it's actually a really good value for what you pay. Gibbs was fastest. He was 0.7, almost 0.7 faster than Nick Sanchez in second.
Nick Sanchez hoping for a good run here today. Gracie Trotter on the outside of row number 3. Her best in the ARCA place run.
Highest car in the Andy Hillenberg Fast Track Racing Camp will start 7th with Michigan native Morgan Baird returning to the ARCA Menard Series in car 10 in row 4.
Go back a little bit further in the starting lineup, and you'll see some pretty important names in this one. By the way, Brandon Varney scored a top 10 finish at Winchester a couple of weeks ago. But then there's Kyle Sieg. He's been pretty good in the super speedway races this year. And then there's that kid from Wisconsin, Sam Mayer. 5 wins 1 year ago, returns to the ARCA Menard Series at Michigan, but it's for the first time.
And getting some notes for tomorrow, he's racing full-time for Junior Motorsports, the Xfinity Series, so big.
Oh, that's right. This would be Mayer's first time at Michigan.
And Greg Van Alst back in 18th in the number 35. We have a couple of onboard cameras for you here today at Michigan International Speedway as well. There's Greg Van Alst.
Y'all remember when Greg Van Alst was in the chat at Watkins Glen a couple weeks ago?
He's getting acclimated, getting ready for green flag with the Bounty camera.
The 9 truck will be fast tonight. Yeah, I guess Enfinger is in the 9 tonight because Eckes is in the 98.
Hoping for another very consistent run after that second place run on the world's fastest half mile. Kyle Sieg, he has been a part-time competitor this year with the ARCA Menard Series.
Wait, what was Kyle Sieg's sponsor? It was Chubby something. Hang on, go back to the view of his car. No, go back to Kyle Sieg. I want to know what his sponsor is. It was Chubby something. Hang on, let me see if I can find it somewhere.
Prepare for your first time around Michigan from the pole. How much do you rely upon Mark McFarland's notes? I know Riley Herbst won this race a year ago with this team, but how much do you guys confer and how much do you rely upon what he's done at big tracks like this one?
You know, a lot. Mark's got a lot of experience here. You know, if he wasn't here, my whole crew wasn't here,
I can't find it anywhere.
We wish you well today. Thank you, Ty.
Let's go down to
Matty D next season, baby hairs.
If you pay attention to the practice speeds out there, people
I don't think Matty D is going to be at too big of a loss next year.
Still very confident. I mean, Corey Heim's a good race car driver, so got some good feedback from practice there, even though it was only 6 laps, I think. So just 2 free. So
I don't think I said the 99 because I said Eckes is in the 98. So Enfinger would be in the 9. Maybe I did say the 99. I don't know. Chubby Bunny, is that what it is?
Nothing else?
Isn't that the game with the marshmallows? You see how many marshmallows you can fit in your mouth?
Well, Shannon Rush wasn't able to give us any keys to this race, so how about you, Jim Trado?
The A&W Chubby Chicken Sandwich.
14 of these ARCA races, and when it comes to this track, you need to fire out strong. There's a restart line up a turn 4.
Oh,
you need to be
interesting.
strong on every restart to stay in contention because they can leave you by turn 1.
Was he very good?
What Shannon Rush didn't tell us is how he's going to keep that nose sealed off on the racetrack. You got to seal the nose all the way around this.
All right, we're coming to green.
You can't have that nose.
Let's see if Corey's actually going to be as far off as he was in practice.
Also, I think the entry to turn 1 is going to prove pivotal. We see that blackened area on top. That's what they put down that traction treatment up there in turns 3 and 4. They put a patch down turn 1. You need to be up in that patch initially in turn 1 to get a great arc in the corner. That's where you can carry the most speed. That's what we saw Ty Gibbs do, and all the faster cars on the racetrack did that in practice, as well as some other teams that I've seen in the past.
We don't hardly have any A&Ws around here. There's only one I can think of within like a 2-hour radius of me.
One of the drivers that a lot of people
No.
pay attention to, especially in the latter
Maybe there's
part of the
2.
ARCA Menard Series season, is the
I forgot about the
kid that
one. I don't even know if
starts
it's still
on the
there.
inside of row number
I haven't been in
3
that town in
with
years.
Rev Racing, and that number 2 ride for Nick Sanchez. He's currently 4th in the overall point standings. A new car for him here this weekend. He's hoping for.
Oh, I thought we were coming to green. It looked like they had the lights off. Now they do.
But he hasn't had that one win or that one dominating race where he led a bunch of laps for this team and what they've done.
No, that's Grubhub.
For their efforts, they got
Close, but no cigar.
Put things over from the championship team of a year ago in play for this young team and Nick Sanchez, and the first time they've ever raced a full schedule. So having this Miami native, a driver for development, diversity driver, working with them, and the rookie stripes on the back bumper for a reason.
Now, I'll tell you what's good root beer. Triple X root beer is really good.
They've done well thus far, but again, have to prove it again at another new track, this big track in Michigan.
Just in front of
Sioux City's also pretty good.
Is Thad Moffitt with that clean
What was the other one I had recently that was pretty good?
But
Root
his
beer is about the
favorite
only kind of pop I'll actually kinda drink, but I really try not to even drink that anymore either.
drivers that had a chance to race here last
Fro
year. Finished
stop?
9th in this race. Again,
What
8
is
drivers
Fro
have experience.
stop?
Dad's got 1 race under his belt. He's open to pay that off
The
big time here
Bussin'
today.
Blaney Restaurant / root beer
I
company.
just talked to Thad Moffitt, some
Oh,
options.
you're answering. Okay, I didn't see he asked what's A&W.
Right now looks like they will also not run at Salem, but being able to get enough finances
Not for the time being, Ashton.
those races. So yes,
I don't
we'll
have
see
anything
first. We'll
recorded
see it
for
in
that at the
Kansas
moment.
City, the season
I
championship.
kind of forgot
So
about that
we'll see
channel,
it at the
actually.
point. So some good news coming for that Clean Harbors team.
No, Triple X Root Beer is pretty good. It's based in Lafayette, Indiana.
Everybody's focus is on that front row. Ty Gibbs, Corey Heim. We've documented so many times they have built that rivalry this year for sure. Quite honestly, a lot of people think they don't like each other.
The Vectory Motorsports has more than one team, so at a track like this where drafting can come into play, Ty Gibbs
I knew
usually
you'd
has
take
a
it that
bit of a
direction,
disadvantage
Ditzlin.
here.
I
At
knew you
Michigan,
would.
Ty Gibbs can prove anybody wrong. He's been fast all year on tracks like this one.
Sure, why not, Bussin'?
The ARCA Menard Series.
Here we go. Now we're green.
Hills of Michigan.
Ty gets a decent start, but Corey's still right there. Corey draws alongside into 1. Up the track. Oh, a little bit of contact. They are already making contact. Corey is trying to keep Ty out of the traction compound. And Corey will take the lead down the backstretch. We'll see how long this lasts. They were beating doors through 1 and 2 on lap 1. Ooh! I thought Ty was going for the back bumper. Oh, Drew Dollar shoves Thad Moffitt into the wall. They're both into the wall in 3 and 4.
Drew Dollar sliding up this racetrack on the first lap.
Is that going to be a caution?
And Dollar not able to get that car turned.
That's got to be a caution, right?
And Thad Moffitt pushed
There we
into
go.
the wall. Was that 46? A bad break for Thad Moffitt, who had big dreams here today.
And Corey Heim is your leader at the time of caution. No, there is not a caution.
We're still under green. That big
Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. No caution.
We see a donut on the side of the number 20 and Corey Heim.
They are still racing for the lead. Ty throws it in deep into 3, and he is going to take the lead.
2 points, just 2 points ahead of the 20 and Corey Heim with the drop with the green flag.
Ty Gibbs did not make it easy on
How is that not a caution?
Georgia in that 20 car.
Nick Sanchez going to look inside Heim now for second.
Now the 18 is in command, and here comes Nick Sanchez with that new ride in the 2, going for second on the inside of Corey Heim.
Sanchez up to second over Corey Heim now, so it doesn't look like Corey made quite the adjustments that they needed to make to get that car fast, because he's already really dropping back from the 18.
Throughout this entire race, we are going to be nominating some moves for the Reese's Sweet Move.
That was such a weird incident between Dollar and Moffitt.
The ARCA Racing Twitter.
Dollar just kind of went straight in the middle of 3 and 4 and shoved both of them into the wall, like pancakes Moffitt into the wall and just rides there. I don't know what happened there.
Each of those machines, but I believe Thad Moffitt also has some damage to that.
And it's even weirder that they didn't even call a caution for that.
From the 15 of Drew Dollar.
Yeah, grinding on both sides of that number 46 Clean Harbors Ford. The team now assessing the damage there. Again, this is under green flag conditions. They're going to go down a lap or 2, and it's going to hurt them not only in the open.
Brandon Varney is up to P5, by the way. There is a fast track car legitimately in the top 5 right now. And it's not at a short track. Gracie Trotter is P4 at the moment.
Look at this. For 4th on back, Gracie Trotter in that 25.
And Varney is looking to the inside for 4th.
Look out, Sam Mayer starting to work.
They've also got Mozak and Mayer right behind them as well.
He's now racing up to the number 25 of Gracie Trotter. Racing for the 4th and 5th position. Amazingly enough, that Sam Mayer's on the outside.
Mayer looks like he's going to take 5th from Varney, and he's looks like he's got enough speed. He's probably going to take Trotter here soon as well. Go, Barney!
After a ferocious battle between he and Corey Heim on the opening 2 laps, let's take a look at what happened between both of those drivers. Ty Gibbs able to pull to the inside. Now they already had contact. You can see the donut right on the door of Corey Heim. Heim said, I don't want to get together again, but Ty Gibbs kept a lot of pressure on that 20, both in the opening lap, driving him up the racetrack, and in that move as well.
At this high speed, that's high stakes. We see it in the loop saw late model
Barney
all
is
the time, trying to crowd someone to get a spot or trying to slide. Well, actually, what Ty Gibbs is, he moved up the racetrack on the initial lap to keep
Sanchez is at least keeping touch with with Gibbs at the moment. It's about 7/10 off the lead. Corey has already dropped back 2.3 seconds off the lead in third.
That opening 2 laps of battle between Ty Gibbs and Corey Hine, a nomination possibly for the Reese's Sweet Move of the race. Remember, you can
Mayer has taken 4th from Trotter. Mozak has also taken 5th, or is currently in the process of taking 5th from her. So move Mozak up to 5th. Trotter is 6th. Varney is still taking a peek there, trying to retake 6th now from Trotter. Greg Von Alst is up to 9th. Jason Kitzmiller up to 10th. Kyle Sieg is 8th. Brandon Varney's being pretty impressive in that fast track car. They got Kyle Sieg with them right there as well in that battle for 6th.
So is Kyle Sieg in that 28. Look at the damage to the left side. We mentioned he's got damage. Thad Moffitt does in that 46 to both the left and the right. Let's show you what happened, what occurred between Drew Dollar in the 15 and the 46.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's happening, Moffitt Cast.
A little bit before that as well. Looks like Drew Dollar lost the nose on that machine and just took him right up the track.
Flat out lost the air on the nose of that car and went up the racetrack, and on the outside of him was unfortunately Thad Moffitt, who became that barrier, that squeezable barrier from the 15 car getting in the wall.
That looked like a straight, like EA Sports NASCAR game wreck. You know how it gets the whole magnetized thing, where as soon as you make contact with another car, you're just stuck on them and you go straight to the wall. That's what the Drew Dollar Thad Moffitt thing looked like. Maybe those EA games had more realistic physics than I thought they did. 100 laps today, Ashton. I'm going to guess there's a break at lap 50. There may be 2 breaks. I don't know if 50 is too long of a run or not. Van Alst will now take a spot from Trotter. That'll be 8th. So she got up to 4th, and now she's dropping back pretty quickly. Jason Kitzmiller is also going to get around her for 9th. So drop her all the way back to 10th. Sanchez slowly losing touch with Gibbs, but still not by much. He's still not a full second behind. It's about 9/10.
That lap 35 modified live pit stop we're going to have will slow things down. The team is really kind of working towards that as they segment this race in 3 different parts. Trying to get a handle on this racetrack.
I don't know about that. Lemonade is in the mug, Robert.
ARCA Series races back in 2002. Well, now that 40-year-old is back with his own team, his own company. Now he's got a crew chief at Jeff McClure helping him. He and Jim Long have conspired to get this driver up to speed on his first trip around Michigan.
Does anybody actually use the word beverage? I got a friend that uses beverage a lot, and I make fun of him for it all the time. I've never heard anybody seriously use that word in conversation besides him.
His first attempt here at this racetrack.
DL Wilson got smoke coming out of the car down to pit road, and that is going to be a caution.
And that will force the first caution to come out, or first caution in this one, because that contact.
And he is done for the day, pulling it into the garage. Now, not to say that this shouldn't have been a caution, because if DL Wilson is losing his engine, there's a possibility of fluid out there. But I still don't understand why the Dollar Moffitt incident wasn't a caution. This honestly should be the second caution of the day. Hey, James? Is that how, James the 35 Taco Bell car? How's it going? He's going to be on the DL now. I love it. Alright, so your current running order under the first caution, lap number 12. Ty Gibbs is your leader. Nick Sanchez second. Corey Heim is third. Sam Mayer fourth. Connor Mozak fifth. Kyle Sieg sixth. Brandon Varney seventh. Greg Von Alst 8th, Jason Kitzmiller 9th, and Gracie Trotter is 10th. Drew Dollar currently scored 17th, 2 laps down, and Thad Moffitt is 18th, 3 laps down. So, the tough thing is, Ty is running away right now, but at the same time, Sanchez isn't super far off of him. With the right adjustment under the brake, Sanchez may play a factor in this by the end of it. I'm doing great. I'm always doing good when there's a race on, James. Yeah, the 97's running pretty good today, Jason. Kitzmiller is giving it a pretty good run today. What race was that? Was that Talladega that he had a really good run last time? I think that was Talladega. What's my prediction for the playoffs? As in who's going to win the championship? I think it's hard to bet against Nemechek at this point. Oh, hey, thanks for the sub, James. I forgot I even had those things turned on. I don't remember ever seeing that in a stream. Yeah, it's hard to bet against Nemechek, I think, on the truck side of things. We're back from break, but I don't hear anything. Oh, there we go.
Welcome back to the ARCA Menard Series at Michigan, and Corey Heim,
because he pitted
in the point standings on pit road early in this one.
Yeah, one of the handful of cars that came down on lead lap. I would say it's a good move on their part. If your car's not right,
yeah,
let's get it right now. Because really they have a 15 to 20 lap run they can put on it, and then really get dialed in when they have time to come down and put tires on and add fuel. None of those are allowed.
Definitely the smart move on their part, because that car was still not completely right, but 35 and 70. Okay, those are the two breaks. So we've still got at least 2 more pit stops. That is, I think, a good call on their part, though. Try and get that thing closer to right. Dude, the beating and banging between he and Ty on lap 1 in 1 and 2 was a little crazy. I'm surprised they didn't wreck each other.
Right here, just to get off my quarter panel, and that's something that we'll see into turn number 3. Now they're carrying a ton of speed into turn 3.
I mean, Nemechek should win the championship if we're talking about who's been the best driver this season. He's the one that probably deserves it. But as we know with the playoff system, it's not always the driver that deserves it throughout the entire season that wins it.
Yeah, Shannon Rush just told me the car's still way too loose. They were able to take
Okay, so Connor Mozak is stopped on pit road, so he's clearly having some issues. Which is disappointing, because he was actually pretty fast today.
They didn't feel like they had the time, wanted to rush that. So a couple of big major changes on the backside. Not able to complete the one on the front left, but that first break coming up in just a little bit.
Look at all the marks on the left side of the 20.
Yeah, this is not Martinsville. This is Michigan International Speedway here. That's a lot of gouging.
That is significant, and that really is all from that opening 2 laps of the race.
That's because that's what he and Ty are turning into at this point. Doesn't matter if it's a short track or not. These two are going to beat and bang in every race at this point. Ty is showing more maturity, which is good. Yeah, he is. I mean, I still think there's some work to do there on his part in the maturity department, but it's better than it was. Did they, Dibslin? Did they really?
At least right now is Connor Mosak, but that Bruce Cook machine in trouble because it won't fire.
Yeah, unfortunately for that team, again, it's Young's Motorsports, a NASCAR Camping World Truck Series team, putting together an effort here.
Did he say the Bruce Cook team?
I like the idea that those teams are looking for outlets for young drivers like Connor Mosak to make his move, make his debut in the ARCA Menard Series at a big venue. It's really neat to see how they come together. Unfortunately, not all the pieces are fired as they should.
Huh.
Nick Taylor customized.
So apparently Bruce Cook,
Good-looking race car for
owner of the 41 and 42 cars in the East Series, the,
Bruce Cook. He puts together a really
why am I forgetting his name?
Yeah, Bruce runs the number 41 and 42 primarily.
Yeah, see.
Numbers you may be familiar with if you're following the ARCA Menard Series East. Bruce has done some work with Steve McGowan in the ARCA Menard Series West for Zane's.
I did not realize he was the crew chief for that 02 car. That's interesting.
There's a lot that Bruce does over the course of time, but he always brings a good piece to the track, no matter the driver.
It's not good when you get the big old hammer out and start beating away at the sheet metal on the side of these races.
D.L. Wilson blew up Moffat Cast. That is the reason for the caution.
There's got a lot of work going on to the right side of that machine.
So Drew Dollar is one of the Venturini drivers. We talked about how they may be working in tandem with Corey Heim to get in position and maybe use their teamwork as they had at bigger tracks, like they finished 1-2 at Daytona. Heim ahead of Dollar at the finish. Ty Gibbs finished 4th there. So all those strategies playing out of having multiple cars in the racetrack, that plan's going out the window right now. Gracie Trotter, also in the number 25 Mobile 1 Ford, she came to pit road under this caution as well for adjustment. So that's the third of the Venturini cars that we're talking about. And it's helping Corey Heim get his way through and get maximum points. Both cars having some adjustments being done on those cars. And it looks like there's more to do for Drew Dollar on pit road.
The two big movers in this race so far are running 3rd and 4th. Sam Mayer and Kyle Sieg. Both of those drivers have climbed their way through the field, especially Mayer. Kyle Sieg right behind him, but Mayer started in 13th. He's now 3rd.
Sieg started dead last. He was one of the
Should be.
4 cars.
Should be, Ashton.
For the 30-minute practice session, the cars
Not on this channel, but yeah, there should be another one.
One of the cars that make too many changes off the list. Out of impound procedure.
Michigan is honestly overhated.
So he started further back than Sam.
Is that what you meant to say, or do you mean overrated?
The top 5 early on here.
Still cannot get Mosak's machine fired. Michigan International Speedway, a big racetrack. Here's the General Tire track information. 2 miles in length at 18-degree banking. Opened back in 1968. And Jim, who won the first ARCA race here?
That'd be Joe Ruttman. They ran 2 races in 1980.
I like how
1990, but this track has proven to be such
they didn't really put all the necessary info on this graphic. All it says is history, 1968-track open, 1980, Joe Ruttman. Until they explained what the 1980 Joe Ruttman was, I was like, what does that mean? What is Joe Ruttman in 1980? You gotta give a little more information than that on the graphic.
He thinks his car will adhere better to this big racetrack on that.
That is a good question, Ashton. I do not know the answer to that.
Because of that pit stop a little bit further back here, we'll keep an eye on his progress and how that car interacts after those chassis changes.
Alright, so on the restart, your top 5 is going to be Gibbs, Sanchez, Mayer, Sieg, and Varney. Greg Von also restarts 6th.
Back at it and prove himself in the number 2. Again, Kansas Speedway, we keep referring to how close this track could be to that. ARCA Menard Series already raced there this year. The 4th race of the year. Sanchez finished in the 9th position. Ty Gibbs went out and won. I think he led almost every lap of that one. So it's going to see how these two.
Oh, it's underrated.
20-year-old Sanchez on the inside.
I don't know about that.
Fire up on the top side.
The racing is really usually not very good here. Sanchez spins his tires on the restart. Gibbs is gone. Not surprising. Mayer and Sieg are going to battle for 3rd. It looks like Mayer's going to clear into 3rd into 1.
Those cars we expected to be very strong, but not a lot of people expected.
Van Alst with the run off the high side. He's going to get up to 5th. With Corey Heim right on his bumper. Heim's going to look to the inside, and he is already back into the top 5 into turn 3 around Van Alst. So, that is the question. How much quicker is Corey Heim now? Did they make the right adjustment? Because apparently he was still too loose on the opening run. Did they fix it enough to where he might be able to challenge Ty now? Because he got shot out of a cannon on the restart, but I don't think anybody would question that Ty is also a lot faster than the Greg Van Alst and the Brandon Varney cars. So how is Heim going to do once he gets up to 2nd or 3rd?
Yeah, getting at ARCA into turn 1, it takes a lap or so to get up the song, but that was a really good telling sign there that Van Alst, by letting off the gas just a little bit, The cars ahead of him pulled away because they weren't off the gas as long, something that Greg will learn throughout this 100-lap race.
Corey Heim already back up to 5th, right behind that 28 machine, Kyle Sieg.
We're already up to lap 20, so we're now a fifth of the way through this one.
In the 23, and Sam Mayer was not able to do anything in terms of staying with Sanchez or Ty Gibbs, at least early in this race.
Sam Mayer has never been here before either. Like, hey, he's got all his Xfinity Series starts. Well, those 8 races have come at times where he's had no practice or on road courses where he's done very well. In Trans Am and the ARCA Series at Watkins Glen, he ran that race as well as the truck race. I mean, he's putting everything he can to get experience here this weekend. So that young driver for Junior Motorsports making things happen, sitting in the 3rd spot. This is the battle right behind him at 4th and 5th. Block number 28 is Kyle Sieg. He's run a partial schedule, but Bob, we count points just on the big tracks. Kyle Sieg's 4th in the General Tire Super Speedway Challenge points right now. Great job for this driver that has very little experience on tracks like this one.
And early on in the season, Kyle Sieg had some visions of running the entire season.
And quickly, Corey Heim makes quick work of Kyle Sieg and moves up to the 4th position. But they are already 2 seconds behind Ty Gibbs. Mayer is 1.6 back in 3rd, and Sanchez is 6/10 back in 2nd.
8th at Talladega, 8th at Kansas, but hey, this kid's for real. Unfortunately, they have the funding to continue on a full-time effort, but they're racing for the general.
Caution is out again.
Yellow flag out for the 2nd time in this race. Ty Gibbs had already an 8-second advantage.
Ooh, Tim Richmond, Drew Dollar.
Tim Richmond in that
Looks like a hard wreck. They've come to a stop at the entrance to pit road. Both those cars are torn up. Tim Richmond is getting out pretty quickly. Gonna check on Drew Dollar. No, he is not. Doesn't look like he's checking on him. He is not happy with Drew Dollar. Dollar does a little bit of a burnout to try and get away from Tim Richmond. And it looks like it's over now. He looked mad. Oh, Moffitt. Thad Moffitt with the retaliation turns Drew Dollar. That's what happened. And Tim Richmond, nowhere to go, got caught between Dollar and the wall. Right into the driver's door. And they both slid like that to the entrance of pit road. Oof.
In the opening laps of this race.
Hard to say, right on that black line, you saw the run that Drew Dollar had. That Moffitt got right to his tail and spun him around.
We told you Thad Moffitt will be missing Sunday's race at Springfield, Illinois. The frustration after that interaction with the 15 earlier in the race certainly overflowed here.
Well, you would think this was a short track race, the way this is going. Should cut the field down to 2 cars, Gibbs and Heim. Well, I mean, if you're just looking at the race for the win, yeah, you know. Although Sanchez is proving more capable of winning today than Heim is so far. Attaboy, Thaddeus. I'm pretty sure Thad is not short for Thaddeus. Running order under the caution. Lap 23, Ty Gibbs is your leader. Nick Sanchez 2nd. Sam Mayer 3rd. Corey Heim 4th. Kyle Sieg 5th. Greg Van All 6th. Brandon Varney 7th. Scott Melton 8th. Jason Kitzmiller 9th. And Morgan Baird 10th. Gracie Trotter currently runs in 11th. Zach Tinkle 12th. And Jeffrey Maxzink in 13th. That is your lead lap. Brad Smith is 1 lap down in 14th. Tim Richmond and Thad Moffitt currently scored 15th and 16th. 3 laps down, but Tim Richmond is definitely done for the day, so he will drop from there, as I'm pretty sure Moffitt is still running at this point. Drew Dollar is done. He is scored in 17th. Mozak is done in 18th. Dio Wilson's done in 19th, and I don't think Jason Miles ever started the race. He is 20th. It's been a wild one to start. Honestly. He's got the money, though. It's all that matters in NASCAR these days. Yeah, we've got quite the weekend of ARCA Racing this weekend. Not only do we have this race today, 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow is the ARCA West race for Irwindale. 2:30 Eastern on Sunday is main ARCA on the dirt at Springfield. We will have watch parties for all of those, and I plan on rewind shows for all of them. So lots of content coming for y'all this weekend.
Second part will be on Sunday when the ARCA Menard Series heads back to the dirt in the Springfield Mile.
And we just got a glimpse of what was a championship turning point when it came to the points championship.
Because they wanted to make it as close to a night race as possible, Bussin'. But they can't do an actual night race because they don't have lights at Michigan. So they started it as late as they thought they could, while still being able to have daylight for all of it. Because ARCA seems to be under the impression that every race is better as a night race, is what I have come to the conclusion of.
Yeah, those 2 points are everything. Again, every position on the racetrack is a point. Leading a lap is an additional point. Winning the race is 3 additional points. And leading the most laps is 1 more point. So when they were fighting out on the drop of the green flag, if Ty Gibbs leads 1 more lap than Corey Heim, and that's the most in the field, he gets 1 more point. So they're racing for literally every spot, every point on the racetrack.
Now let's think about the incident between Thad Moffitt and Drew Dollar. I don't believe that could be a Reese's sweet move of the race, but it might be a Reese's not sorry moment.
Oh, man. Yeah, good one.
Oh, okay. It took me a second to realize that is a Reese's thing too, isn't it?
Thad Moffitt's car, as Drew was coming through the racetrack, it's hard to say because that traction control, that traction treatment.
Don't say that's hard to tell. Like, you can tell that was... I know you're trying to give Thad the benefit of the doubt, but that was intentional.
And when it came to the racing line through that corner, Drew was doing his thing. Looks like Thad just got up into the back of him and they spun around. But, man, the biggest problem I have is Tim Richmond. That team, they have 2 top 10 finishes in their...
You know, I kind of do too, honestly, Moffitt Cast, because both of their things are purple, and I'm not looking at the letters or the names.
On the 46, this is a different view of it here. From that other angle, I saw Thad Moffitt kind of lose the nose a little bit with those front tires. He was battling with the wheel and got into the 15. So upon further analysis, let's take a look at here. I'm not so sure.
Hard to say because what Thad was trying to do there was he's trying to get position on and taking the air off. You hear that all the time, but taking the air off the quarter panel, that means the nose of the car on the inside trying to run up and, not touch, but take the air and create a different turbulence.
I have a hard time believing that wasn't intentional, given what had already happened with them just a few laps ago.
Drew Dollar in the 15 took that impact, but Tim Richmond also felt that.
And especially the way that went down. Thad basically drove straight through Drew, so yeah, I have a hard time believing that.
Tim Richmond and Alex Club. Alex, who's down in the corner right now, did have an opportunity though to talk to a representative of this team that didn't know much about the incident. When I told him, he says, "Well, if there's a silver lining, it's the fact that
hey, now we've got Casey's alter ego."
That car. Tim Richmond going to get out of the seat after this one. Alex Club will be back for Springfield. They're planning on bringing out some new sheet metal. So, you know, what was already a bad situation.
Landon at least is a slightly different color.
This race, but still very unfortunate though for this Illinois-based team to be involved in that.
And there's the track cleanup down in turn 4 because of that incident. Started with Thad Moffitt getting...
Yeah, they're still cleaning things up down in 4, so this might be a lengthy caution.
Nowhere to go, so we now know when he climbed out of the car and reached in, he was reaching into Drew Dollar to see if he was okay.
Yeah, Drew might have just been so frustrated trying to get the belts off, what have you. And then he tried to pull the car back to pit road. So it's just a matter of compounding just frustration, I think, on Drew's part. And certainly sad moments for Tim Richmond and that Richmond Club Motorsport team at the torn up 27.
I mean, that does make sense that Tim was checking on Drew, because he did pile straight into the driver's side door. So, I mean, I know if I were Drew, especially with the way that went down, I would have been concerned for, or if I were Tim, I would have been concerned for Drew too. Oh, well, yeah, that wouldn't help, would it, Ashton? Well, no, because you have a profile picture, MAVTV, so you're easy to differentiate from everybody else. And a very unique profile picture at that. Okay, so as a reminder, under this lengthy caution, we're up to lap 27 now. So we are just over a quarter of the way through this race. Ty Gibbs is your leader. Nick Sanchez is second. Sam Mayer third. Corey Heim fourth. Kyle Sieg fifth. Greg Van All sixth. Brandon Varney seventh. Scott Melton eighth. Jason Kitzmiller ninth. And Morgan Baird in 10th. For the Gracie Trotter fans, she is currently 11th. This has been wild so far. Most of the wildness has centered around Drew Dollar and Thad Moffitt, but it has been wild nonetheless. And then the battle for the lead with Corey and Ty was pretty good too on the first lap. I would really like to see Corey find a way to get the speed to get back up there, because I want to see that battle for the lead. Top 4, in my opinion, are some future talents. Yes, 110% you are correct, Lindsay. 110%. Those top 4, they are the future right now. At the rate we're going, we actually may run out of daylight for this race, because they did start it so late. If this race doesn't pick up the pace, we might have some issues with that. Because again, we've got at least 2 more breaks in here. So there's at least 2 more cautions. Garth's hairline kind of looks like the head of a cat.
Nick Sanchez has had a good run so far today at Michigan in the ARCA Menard Series. He currently rides in second to Ty Gibbs. Corey Heim and Ty Gibbs got into it earlier in the race in the opening 2 laps of this race. He pitted, made his way back to the top 5.
I mean, I'm not mad. I would admit it if I saw it, but I don't really see it.
For some changes, how was that car? Is it any tighter, as you and Shannon Rush were talking about how loose the car was at the outset?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think we're getting better and better with each adjustment. You know, we didn't exactly practice how we wanted to, but we're getting to think better with every stop, and I think we'll be there at the end.
Is there any damage to your race car from the opening lap excitement with Ty Gibbs and you kind of knocking each other around a little bit on the backstretch?
Well, that was an hour ago, Lindsay.
I wish you well. I kind of figured Corey wasn't going to tell us about the damage, but in looking at the body, everything matters. I mean, this team spends a lot of time, Venture New Motorsports literally goes to the wind tunnel on occasion with Toyota's involvement to get these cars right. So when I asked him,
down
I
in whose pit, Casey?
Something holding this team back. So if they go to the left side of the car, yeah,
oh,
it's going to be mum on
Drew
the radio,
Dollar,
but
I'm going to guess,
said, hey,
since
there's
that's
this,
who everybody's talking
The
about.
crush panel was knocked in, what have you, and a lot of factors here. These
Completely
speeds,
goes away by like 8:30. Okay, so we've got
really
about an
big
hour,
difference.
hour and a half tops, probably.
At that first controlled caution, at or
Cat
around
ears,
lap
at least.
35. Somebody like
I mean, I guess I see what you're talking about, like, because it kind of
23.
comes,
Remember how
like, to a
good
bit of a
Holmes
point
was
here,
almost won the race
right?
last
I guess
year.
I see what you're saying.
Riley Herbst was able to take that victory late in the race. But
Oh,
there
definitely
was
late to start it, but again,
tension here at
ARCA
this
likes to
racetrack.
start things as late as possible,
And
because,
he's
ooh,
so
night
smart
races.
as the leader of
Even
this
though they
team.
can't do a night
They did
race
a lot in
here.
the offseason. They won a championship with Brett Holmes. They said, we want to go truck racing, part-time. Sam Mayer said, I need to race somewhere before I turn 18 in June. What can I do? I want to race.
Well, let's be
Brett Holmes
honest.
in
How
trucks.
often
got to
did they
race 4 or
do
5 times together there. And then they made a
TV
really smart
interviews
move.
over the
Sam Mayer said,
radio
"I run these
before
Xfinity races. Why not
the
race
last
the
couple
ARCA
years in
Series the day
ARCA?
before?"
I don't know that it really hardly ever happened before the last year or two. So, and most of these teams don't have the budget that Cup, Xfinity, and truck teams do to buy good radios.
Sam gets a lot of track time at new venues like Michigan for him when it comes to racing the Xfinity Series.
And Sam Mayer is a kid that I
Yeah, I mean,
believe
we've-
will have a full-time ride pretty soon.
What, it's been like 45 minutes since the green flag, and we've only gone...
Not only 5 wins over here,
We're on lap
but
29.
back-to-back championships in the old
So,
NASCAR
if we
Series,
continue
and
at this
ARCA
pace...
and that truck series win at Bristol, the kid.
Yeah, if we
is a
continue at this
flat-out
pace, we
talent.
won't make it before dark. And again,
again,
there are 2 more breaks built in that we still haven't gotten to. One of them is going to be like 4 laps from now after we, or 5 laps from now after we take the green flag.
Well, checking in with this 23 team, there is the champ, Brett Holmes, behind crew chief Shane Huffman, who's now got Sam Mayer in a good position, or better yet, you've got
Nice.
him in a good position. How potent is this team right now?
Yeah, it's I feel like we got a really good car. We're a little snug right now, which was by design, you know, just to let Sam get his bearings about him a little bit. I think we get an opportunity to work on it, give Sam some more laps here. I think we'll be in contention.
Are always looking at the numbers. How close are you to the 18? How close are you to the 20? Can you be competitive with them throughout this thing?
Yeah, I think they're a little better than us right now for sure, but we can, by the time it's over here, I think we can hopefully race them.
This defending championship team having a good run so far here in Michigan.
Shane Huffman exudes confidence now as the crew chief and the leader of this team, but prior to that, he was a darn good racer as well.
Yeah, and worked really closely with a lot of good teams. As
Very
he transferred
disaster.
From driver to crew chief. He and his son Landon are now cleaning up when it comes to dirt go-kart money races. I mean, there's a lot going on for Landon and his team. But when he focuses with Shane Huffman at the controls, he got the Brett Holmes.
All right, coming back to the green flag. Ty Gibbs, Nick Sanchez going to be the front row again. Gibbs is gone, and Corey is going to be pushing right behind him. Move Corey. Not quite back to second yet. He's still got Sanchez below him.
Shootout for the ARCA Menard Series at Michigan. Look at Corey
And, okay, Corey's going to get a run here on the high side. Sanchez hasn't quite cleared him yet off of 2.
and get past the 2 of Nick Sanchez.
Oh, with a run down the backstretch. Gibbs is going to go low, try to break the draft a little bit. Sanchez going to send it deep into 3, and it looks like he's going to clear Heim with that move. Gibbs, Sanchez, Heim, your top 3 now. Mayer's back to 4th. Van Alst is P5. It looks like Kyle Sieg back to 6th.
Great run at Talladega, cut short by an accident. He and Ty Gibbs are swept up, racing in the top 5 there. Greg Van Alst has not raced a lot of big tracks, but what he said...
You ain't gonna rickroll me, bussin'.
Series championship, I was invited to Daytona. The road to Daytona, ARCA gave him that chance to get one of Andy Hillenberg's cars around the track at Daytona. He said, that's when I sealed the deal. I had to be in this series. I had to run these big tracks. He's now gone ahead and bought more equipment to further his season. The number 35 driver we're talking about, the CB fabricating Ford. That's one of Chad Bryant's old Ford machines.
Sieg is going to take the 5th position.
Chad Bryant now working with another
What is that
team.
sponsor?
Has Chip-
I really want to see what Kyle Sieg's sponsor is. It's Chubby something.
It's a constant flow with a veteran crew chief that's won a championship in the series with this driver trying to make his way in a partial schedule.
Van Alst now has Kyle Sieg in front of him. So he's outside the top 5. You hear him, he has to lift a little bit, that car a little bit tight at this juncture.
Kitzmiller peeking inside Varney now for P7. Scott Melton is up to 7th.
And a top 10 run here last year.
Battle for 8th right behind the 69. Scott Melton's got a couple of top 10 finishes here. Brandon Varney continues to impress in that number 11. He's
Yeah, Morgan Baird right there with him as well. Then it's another 3 seconds back to Gracie Trotter in 11th. She is way off today. Gibbs has a half a second on Sanchez and 1.5 on Heim in third at the moment.
Remember, he and Ty Gibbs got into it earlier in the race. He wound up spinning out. I thought he was done.
Yeah, I don't think it's Chubby Bunny. Chubby Charlie? What is Chubby Charlie's?
And got back to a good 6th place effort.
Hey, Rebecca.
His favorite, he's worked with Bill McAnally Racing and the academy they built in the West Coast. They're racing these cars upwards of 20 plus times in the West Coast.
Yeah.
And they're inviting young drivers to take the time, learn the cars, learn the
What is
drivers,
Chubby
learn the marketing
Charlie's?
side. And Brandon's
Now
got
I'm
a couple
genuinely
of races as
curious.
well. The Drivers Academy put together by Bill McAnally, the ARCA Series West perennial champion, 10 championships he has as an owner. Getting Brandon comfortable with this kind of car.
Move Brandon Varney up to 6th around Scott Melton, and Jason Kitzmiller is going to follow him through for 7th. We're within a lap of the break, I do believe. And again, I will give MAVTV credit. They do a lot better than Fox does on these broadcasts in terms of showing the battles throughout the pack and not just playing follow the leader when Ty Gibbs is 10 seconds gone. They do really well at trying to show all the stories in the race.
He has just 11 starts, but they're on bigger tracks. So to see Jason adapt well here, he's kind of young to this deal, Bob, no matter his age.
Back up front, the young gun, 18-year-old Ty Gibbs in the 18, leading now.
It's a pizza company. Interesting.
Nick Sanchez.
And there is the caution.
Behind him, and as we say that, yet the yellow flag does
So that is going to be break number 1 for the day, but the 3rd caution for the day. So another chance for Corey Heim to adjust on the car and get a little better, because he seems to have closed that gap a little bit in terms of speed to the 18. So maybe something might happen by the end of this race. Who knows? Pappy Kitzmiller. It's not a Michigan here. No one here is talking about Chubby Charlie. I don't know. I've never heard of it. Okay, I'm gonna Google it. Let's find out what Chubby Charlie's is. It is a pizza place, and it is in Michigan. It looks like a local pizza place. Like there's only one of them. Oh, no, there's more than one. Let's see, there are 4 locations. Clarkston, Michigan, Roseville, Michigan, Utica, Michigan, and Waterford, Michigan. Which looks like those are all on like the north side of Detroit. So there you go. It's a pizza place on the north side of Detroit, or pizza places. You know, it wouldn't be the first time. He's had mechanical issues here and there throughout the season. Mostly not in the race. He's had some in practice, so... I mean, I think he's due for something like that at this point. Right after the race, Ashton. Because there should be a little bit of a gap. I can throw it in there before anything official comes out from ARCA to where I'd have to do the rewind show. Alright, running order under the first break of the day. Ty Gibbs is your leader. Nick Sanchez 2nd, Corey Heim 3rd, Sam Mayer 4th, Kyle Sieg 5th. Gracie Trotter 6th? That doesn't sound right. Huh? Wait a minute. For some reason, it's got... I don't know what's happening right now. This doesn't look right, but according to timing and scoring, Gracie Trotter is 6th, Zach Tinkle is 7th, Brandon Varney 8th, Scott Melton 9th, Morgan Baird is 10th. And now it's just moved Brandon Varney up to the lead. So I wonder if this isn't a break and it's just a competition caution. That's what I'm starting to think, because usually under a break it would say it went red flag, but it still says yellow. I don't think this is a break. I think this is a competition caution. In which case, it looks like Brandon Varney and Kyle Sieg stayed out and are now the top 2.
Under the first controlled caution for the ARCA Menards Series at Michigan, all the teams have been out pit road. They've changed their tires and made some adjustments on those cars as well. And it
have they?
A flurry of activity.
When it comes to these cars and making changes, it's about experience. Steve Plattberger has a lot of experience. He's the crew chief on the number 2 with Nick Sanchez. They had a chance to make changes. They're going to realign this car in 2nd position.
Now it shows Kyle Sieg as the leader and Brandon Varney in 2nd.
Had a good season, but not exactly the season he has wanted. At the same time,
I'm confused.
In the shadows of our top 2 point contenders, well, Ty Gibbs and Corey Hine.
I'm very
I
confused.
definitely feel sometimes like the forgotten guy, and I can't blame him. But it definitely motivates me to just try to keep digging. And I think after Talladega, and even
There might have been with Thad Moffat's team. They didn't show it on the broadcast, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, we've had 2 really crappy races, but we're down but not out. And really just try to get the most out of each race going forward, whether it be a win or whether it be finishing 5th. So it's just about building the notebook for our team, you know. We have no data, no notebooks. So every track you go to is a learning experience. You know, I always tell myself just sit back and drive. Don't worry, you know, in the race you can only do so much work on the car. You know, just go drive and try to maximize the car. So it's crazy because I would have never thought, you know, a kid with a dad from Cuba, living in Miami or whatever, wind up where I am. There's many times, you know, before a race I look back and I'm like, how did I end up? Because I remember going to the Homestead race and watching NASCAR. I'm like, how did I end up racing at Daytona at the beginning of the year? But I feel like it kind of makes me want it more because, you know, there's not many drivers in the Latin community or from Miami. So it makes me want to represent the community very well and really drives me to do better.
So lap 1, Rebecca, Drew Dollar got tight or something. I'm not really sure what happened. Shoved up the track in 3 and 4 and basically pancaked himself onto Thad Moffat into the wall. It seemed like Thad took exception to that and like 20 laps later turned Dollar, which got Dollar turned around up into Tim Richmond. So I didn't see any sort of a fight there, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was a fight.
Really fights for everything. You know, he's got this opportunity with Rev Racing, and he's making the most of it right now. 4th overall in the series point standing, so 6 top 5 finishes. Not shabby at all. 2 third-place runs, so you know he's knocking on.
I like night races, but I usually just sleep until night because I'm impatient. Nice.
2 guys in this series, in Ty Gibbs and Corey Hine.
Yeah, West Coast advantage.
From a team standpoint for both of them.
Are you on the West Coast bussin'?
Yeah, part of that learning lesson for this team is restarts, getting good runs, running with a really good competition.
The West races aren't quite so late for you then.
4th or 5th maybe at times, maybe up to
Ooh,
3rd.
Cantaloupe.
Hold it there. This is the best run from start to lap 40 we've seen by this team all season.
Hey Dave Reeve, it's been fun watching the 20 and the 18 go at it. What can you tell us about both cars?
No contrast in style as far as the pits went down here for the 18. Very methodical, very slow, very thorough. Talked with Mark McFarland. They said the only thing they did is try to free up Ty Gibbs just a little bit. Very, very happy with their car, but as we've documented from the start of the day, Shannon Rush.
Okay, so
JBL team, not where they wanted to be even just yet. I said, did you make any major changes? And he smiled and said, everything we're doing today is a major change. They changed the right ring spring rubber. They changed some track bar locations. They changed some air pressure back there. So as bad as that JBL.
Oh, SoCal. Okay.
I'm still doing a great job keeping that car.
I've always wanted to visit SoCal, and I never have had the chance to yet. Okay, so it seems that everything has evened out here. Ty Gibbs and Sanchez are going to be the front row. Heim and Mayer row 2. Looks like Sieg and Van Alst in row 3.
That will change how the car feels for all these drivers.
And now it's a matter of not this lap, not the next lap, but the third lap after the green flag flies. We're going to find out what these teams did on their pit stops and if it was of value or if they went the wrong way.
Why the third lap? Sanchez looks like spun the tires again, and Ty gets away very cleanly again. Sanchez, though, looks like he's going to clear Sam Mayer for second off of 2. He does. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, he did. I wasn't 100% sure he had. Oh, but here comes Mayer with a run on the outside, though, into 3. Going to fight back for second. They got Corey Heim in tow back there in 4th. Oh, I think that's Kyle Sieg going around back there.
Did you see that behind that shot? I believe it was the 28. Indeed, it was Kyle Sieg.
He must have saved it because he's still rolling. He was dead sideways, though. And I thought he was going to take Greg Van Alst with him.
And we stay under green here. So Sieg gathered it back in. We're underway and rolling down the backstretch.
Well... Okay, so Heim is up to P3 now as he takes a spot from Sam Mayer. I like the idea of it, Lindsay. I'm waiting to see what it's like in practice. I feel like, though, if they were going to change a 2-mile track to a short track, this is the track they should have done it to and left Auto Club as it was, because Auto Club generally gives better racing than this track does. Ooh, somebody... Oh, Tinkle has blown up.
Yes, it is. The Michigan short track.
So we're going to have a caution for that.
On their biggest home track, Tinkle brings Wayne Peterson 06 to pit road.
We had a caution for the... when D.L. Wilson blew up. Are we going to have one for Tinkle? Doesn't look like it.
And I was wrong. Sam Mayer's car is handled just fine. That noise, that little black leading edge.
Oh, it looks like Mayer actually held off Heim. So Mayer is still P3 and Heim is 4th.
That's Corey Heim. That car doesn't move off the racetrack.
Shane Huffman did that on purpose.
Sieg has fought his way back to 6th now around Brandon Varney. Gracie Trotter's back up to 8th.
Hey, Shane Huffman, he was always playing games as well. Back to the MDM deal. They would always play games with each other, especially with the Venturini Motorsports.
Tinkle was running really well.
See what they're doing. So, unfortunately, Shane's not driving anymore, but he's still doing a great job as a crew chief. By the way, Kyle Sieg, I'm telling you, he had one of the nominations for the Reese's Sweet Move of the race. Let's check it out now. How the 28 saved it with an auto park it replay. Here it is right now. Watch the 35 back there. Greg Van Alst goes up into that black stuff. Kyle Sieg right to the bottom, loses the nose.
Oh, he came so close. Okay, he wasn't as sideways as I thought he was, but... Oh, man. He almost got Greg Van Alst.
Oh, now Kyle Sieg in the 28, duking it out with the 11 of Brandon Varney. This is a battle for 6.
Oh, they have, Lindsay. They have.
Camera, good shot right there of Sieg moving back by Varney.
Well, it'd be great to see Sieg in this series full-time. His brother is racing in the full-time Xfinity series. It's a family deal. He's in the shop every day. Sieg's working with his brother Brian, working with Cowboy Starlin, working with his dad Rod. They're working.
Oh, here comes Corey Heim. He has now finally cleared Sam Mayer back to 3rd.
So he's trying to make his way to race against his brother someday, and he hopes sooner than later in the Xfinity series.
Corey Heim made the pass in that JBL audio number 20 on the 23 of Sam Mayer. So now Heim up to 3rd. He's got a ways to go to catch Nick Sanchez just in front of him. And by the way, speaking of a ways to go, Sanchez right now is almost 2 seconds behind leader Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, Ty is starting to really be gone. Almost 2 seconds up now as we work lap 48.
This is Ty's third year already racing the ARCA Series. He's raced 11 Xfinity Series races and won 3 of those. So it's not a fair comparison for those young drivers that being just a couple years apart in age. But Ty Gibbs firing off, left Sanchez in the field in the dust, but Nick's able to rally back and run now second behind this guy, Ty Gibbs, who's led from the outset.
In those 3 years, Ty Gibbs has been able to amass 15 wins in the ARCA Series. That is purely impressive, and he does a good job behind the wheel of this race car, which is one of the best in the ARCA Series. And he's got that 2.3-second advantage over that second-place car, Nick Sanchez. And a lot of people believe that he's like the Cinderella story right now, having just an unbelievable run here today. It would be his best career ARCA Series finish if he's able to keep second. But we still have
Best
a way to go
fight you've ever seen live.
Aside
from family reunions. I don't even know the last time I went to a family reunion. Spencer Gallagher and John West Townley at Gateway. Definitely that one.
The 23 of Sam Mayer.
Well, yeah, we're getting closer to it, Ashton, but we're still, what, 2 months away? A little over 2 months?
This race team for Brett Holmes Racing. Remember, Brett Holmes almost won the race in the ARCA Series last year at Michigan.
Yeah, Suarez McDowell was okay. There's been better ones.
Racing number 23 of Sam Mayer is having another career day. The 35 of Greg Van Alst, coming off that career best finish in just a limited appearances in this series. Van Alst finished in the runner-up spot on the world's fastest half mile, and now he's running 5th today at Michigan.
Great run by Greg. Again, CV Fabricating has been a sponsor of his. That's all an Anderson, Indiana-based deal. Greg owns his own top choice fence company in Anderson, but his buddy Chris Barkville said, let's go racing. Let's get a couple of ARCA cars. Well, this is also an effort to raise
I don't know that you're really missing much, Bussin'. I was never a fan of going to family reunions.
Greg said there's more to racing. We need to make sure our friend and his awareness campaign is carried through, and they're doing that with fine fashion here today at Michigan.
I mean, you know, they can do what they want to do.
In 8th, not having the run she wanted here on the big track of Michigan.
Time does go fast. And it goes faster the older you get.
Back half of the top 10, not able to move forward, but as we see, she's now racing with Brandon Varney.
I do. That's what I just said.
She's another driver that needs a good run. She only signed up for 10 races this year in the ARCA Series. She's got to really make some improvements here, to make some impressions, I should say. I think she's doing really good on track.
Gracie back up to P7. No, scratch that. P8. Working on Varney for P7.
That's what she's trying to get these 10 races this year. It's already race 7 for her in the Venturini Motorsports 25.
We are just past the
I'm not sure what happened to Scott Melton, but he's showing as out.
Take a look at the Richmond water heaters.
And I think Mozak is back on track.
Ty Gibbs and Corey Heim on the front row for this one.
It is.
A little bit further back in the field, Kyle Sieg running very well.
Have I ever interviewed somebody and one broke out? Not in the middle of an interview. I mean, I was there at Berlin in 2018 when everybody was pissed at Joe Graff Jr. But I wasn't really interviewing anybody in the middle of anything.
Little bump and run by the 46 of Thad Moffitt that also collected the 27 of Tim Rickman and knocked out the 15 of Drew Dollar. Well, it's been Ty Gibbs' show, but in reality, he started to make changes. He started to get that fire off speed. They started to get that position. And he did it on the outside of the most recent restart to get that lead back.
3 cautions already in this race. But that 18 has been pretty dominant. It looks like he's well on his way to probably picking up that extra point for leading the most laps. And that is
I think he's definitely well on his way to that.
Yeah, it's a 100-lap race, so if he's already led more than half of them, yeah, he's definitely got that extra point. He gets a point for leading a lap, another point for leading the most laps, and he's counting on, if he can get that win, there's 3 additional points that he can get by winning the race. So that
yes, Dibslin is the blonde.
Because Corey Heim has not led a lap, normally lead the most laps here today.
By the way, the 46 with all that damage on the left and right side of that race car, he's right in the middle of this battle here, but he is still a couple of laps down, too, as a matter of fact, and being scored into.
Oh, Kitzmiller's actually gotten by Gracie. So move Kitzmiller back to 8th, Trotter back to 9th. Morgan Baird is also still in the top 10 and 10th. Max Zink in his first start is -1 and 11th, so good run for him.
Middle of the race, this is the calm before the storm. I think everybody just sorting things out. Remember, we have another controlled caution break.
Oh, I've got plenty of blonde hair. Can't you see it? I act like a blonde a lot of the time. Whether I have blonde hair or not. Of course it is, Dibslin. Why am I not surprised? Alright. Running order at lap 57. Ty Gibbs still your leader, 2.4 seconds over Nick Sanchez. Corey Hyman third, 5.9 seconds back. Sam Mayer 4th. Greg Van Alst 5th. Kyle Segas 6th. Brandon Varney 7th. Jason Kitzmiller 8th. Gracie Trotter 9th. And Morgan Baird in 10th. That is your top 10. Ugh. Yeah, that's how this race is going. I'm sitting here yawning. Ugh. I kind of had a feeling that's how this race was going to go. I mean, it is Michigan. It is Michigan. Again, this is the 2-mile track they should have made into a road course and left Auto Club how it was. But what do I know? Ms. Allan? Don't forget, I can put you in timeout, Dibslin. Yawns are contagious, even virtually. It's really not bussin'. I want it to be. Like, it wasn't bad before the repave and back in, like, the Gen 4 days. But ever since the COT and the Gen 6 came along and ARCA implemented their Gen 6 style car, there's not much going on at this track. And I was hoping it would be better than this, because Pocono's usually not a great race either, but look how good Pocono was this year. I don't know, I've been to Michigan in person and it wasn't much better than it is on TV. But, I mean, being at the track is always just a better atmosphere than watching it on TV. You kind of get caught up in the atmosphere and the ambiance, and that makes it a better experience, generally. I mean, just like we've heard from some folks in the chat how Knoxville was a great race because they were at Knoxville, and if you watch Knoxville on TV, it was not a good experience.
Family's been involved in racing, Bob and tire distribution. So right now he's trying to run some ARCA races to gain that valuable experience.
1999 Gen 4 race at Michigan sucked. Okay, well that's one Gen 4 race. Yeah, this year's ARCA Pocono race was really good, so I had kind of hoped that this race would follow suit, but it has not so far.
That again goes to our point about how this development series can help give these drivers the opportunities, but in reality it's about grooming them throughout. They don't just call up Brett Bodine as they used to and say, hey, can I run a car here, can I run a car there? It's a matter of saying, hey, if you run an ARCA race at a smaller track, then you're approved for a larger
Kitzmiller taking a peek to the inside of Varney for P7.
Kitzmiller tries to pull low, but you can see he doesn't have the steam in that 97, that momentum that he needs to get that run in a battle for position. He's learning right there. You can see. Let me see what happens if I put the car here.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with that, but the broadcast wasn't necessarily the problem.
Gracie Trotter is a girl that is really trying to make a name for herself over here as well. She's had a couple of good opportunities. You mentioned that front row starting spot at Daytona, ran really well there until an incident about halfway through that race. She had her stroke point of the year at Elko, the smallest track that the ARCA Menard Series goes to.
Snoring intensifies.
She's got a couple top 10 runs as well at Toledo and Berlin. But a lot of expectations for Gracie, especially when a Corey Heim is running third and Drew Dodd.
Yeah, Daytona next week probably will be insane. I'm going to be more focused on Milwaukee next week, but yeah, Daytona will probably be pretty crazy too. I'm really hoping I'm able to go to Milwaukee. That's one race I was really looking forward to, and if COVID restrictions are still similar to what they were this weekend, I'm probably not going to be able to. He hasn't yet, at least not on my screen. Here he comes. Mayer looking to the inside.
Here we go, battle for second.
We're about 5 laps from the second competition caution.
But Sam Mayer on the inside of Corey Heim, so maybe Corey Heim.
And there goes Mayer. Okay, move Mayer up to P3, Heim back to 4. The top 4 are within 10 seconds of Ty Gibbs. Then you go back to Greg Von Alsten 5th, who is 23 seconds off the lead.
Winning at Bristol, 2 races the same night, the Truck Series and the ARCA race. He's got pure speed. When you got Shane Huffman,
NBC is not leaving. NBCSN, the channel, won't exist after this year. NBC is still around until at least 2024, as they're part of the contract until 2024. NBCSN, the channel itself as a whole, is going away, though.
Are thinking right now about each other.
oh man, they want to be out on the racetrack learning more. Only one of them is out there yet.
Andrew Dollar is off the racetrack and now standing by with Dave Reef.
Yeah, not very happy about taking in all the action off the pylon with the big screen there. He'd like to be out there competing. How does this one go down in your eyes?
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious what happened there. 46 just wrecked us. We honestly owed him one after the first lap, and then he wrecked us for no reason, pretty much. Just desperate by the 46. His race is desperate. I think he's just lost out there, but really just bummed for this crew. This Sunbelt Reynolds Toyota Camry was really good today. We were going to run second at worst if we had a green race, and unfortunately got taken out by a really desperate driver.
How tore up is this race car as Mark Wildman goes and takes a look?
We're killed. This is going to be a good car at Kansas. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go to a different race car. It's unfortunate for my team, Venturini Motorsports team, and Tim Richmond's team as well. I know they work really hard, and we got 2
Hey, Earl.
really torn up race cars
Hey, Andrew.
for no reason, just because we got a kid out there who honestly shouldn't be out there. So it's disappointing. I'm sure we'll get to talk to him later.
Say the post-race conversation, are you working it out in your head right now?
Yeah, hopefully he wants to talk. Let's just hope that. Thank you.
Did Drew just say he owed Thad one after lap 1, even though he's the one that initiated the wreck?
Moffitt in an incident earlier in the race, and that's when
What?
kind of took him up the racetrack.
Did I hear him correctly? Yes, this is main ARCA, Earl, at Michigan.
A little payback here. That Moffitt to the inside slides high and takes the 15 out, and Tim Richmond is collected.
Great looks there again. It's getting down to it. He mentioned desperation. It's a matter of making their way and paving their path forward. And this is the time of year where a lot of decisions are being made into the third quarter, into the fourth quarter when it comes to budgets for next year. And that's a big deal. Not to be able to finish this one for Drew. Again, racing part-time here and part-time in the NASCAR.
Ty Gibbs pulling up on Trotter and Kitzmiller to put a lap on him.
Ty Gibbs about to put the 25 of Gracie Trotter a lap down. She is running in 9th, so a blistering pace right now.
He
for Ty
actually
Gibbs.
looks like he slowed down a little bit. He may be letting them stay on the lead lap, because we only got about a lap left until the caution.
1.2 seconds is the gap.
Well, never mind. There he pulls to the inside.
Behind is only 1.2 seconds behind. Nice job by Sanchez.
Sanchez is kept within pretty good touch. He's only 1.2 off of Gibbs. With the right adjustment, he might be able to do something here. Okay, Trotter's a lap down, and Gibbs is going to take Kitzmiller as well. Well, that's going to trap Gracie a lap down, and Kitzmiller is going to get the free pass.
yellow flag is out. Lap 70 for the controlled caution. Modified line pit stops coming into play here. One more chance for teams to make some adjustments to their cars. We know that Corey Heim
Yes,
wants to make some
yes, he
adjustments.
is.
He wants to go after this 18 and battle for the win today. He is currently running in fourth for that number 20.
Sieg is changing Daniel Hemrick. Okay, so this is going to be competition caution number 2. Not a break, so we're not on a 5-minute clock. A question unrelated to ARCA. If you ran your own series and went to no more than 10 tracks. Ooh, 10 tracks. Now, okay. I have follow-up questions. Would this series be like, am I competing with the Cup Series? Am I competing with ARCA? Like where along the ladder would I be? Because that's going to influence my choices on tracks. But under the competition caution, current running order is Ty Gibbs is your leader, Nick Sanchez second, Sam Mayer third, Corey Heim fourth, Greg Van Alst fifth, Kyle Sieg sixth, Brandon Varney seventh, Jason Kitzmiller eighth, and Gracie Trotter ninth. You know what I could do? Let me see if I can see if I can do this. I don't know why I haven't done this before. This seems like the smart thing to do for this, and I've just never done this. So now you can see timing and scoring. How's that look? So my follow-up was, my series, is that competing with, like, the Cup Series? Is that competing with ARCA? Like, where am I, like on the developmental ladder? Who am I competing with? Because that's going to influence my decision on which tracks. There are 28 laps to go. We're on lap 72. I mean, Rick Allan wasn't bad when he was doing trucks. I actually enjoyed him when he was on the truck broadcast. It's when he moved to Cup that it got a little weird. Oh, I forgot. I've got the chat there, don't I? Okay, we'll move the chat box. Here, we'll move the chat over right here. There. Okay, perfect. I forgot I had the chat box there. We have a flipper.
I would take that.
You would go on the cheese curd line twice. I'd go on the corn dogs twice. Or I might go to 2 different stands to see which one's better.
We had a good time. Even after the race, going through the fair and having a good time. So we
Ooh, Eli Gold is very underrated. Eli Gold and Barney Hall are Radio Hall of Fame 100%, no question about it.
Ty Gibbs will lead this field back to the green flag for the final part of this race. Going after 8 wins, and consider this. If he gets to 8 wins, that will be the most in a single season in the last decade of ARCA Menard Series competition. Austin Terrio and Ty Dillon back in 2017 and 2011.
I'm trying to remember. I think the record in the modern era of ARCA is like 12 wins in a season. Ty very easily could get to that point.
Racing number 18. Ty Gibbs and everybody else been pretty slow here tonight.
This team put it on kill when it came to what they wanted to do when they got here.
These two have waged war all year long. Remember that bump at Elko?
I like it, Moffat Cast.
And he makes the difference with his front bumper to win this.
I don't know how having Bestwick and Jenkins in the booth would work though, since they're both play-by-play guys. You really can only have one play-by-play. Otherwise, it's solid. Barney! I don't know why, but like with your name Bussin', I feel like Barney fits very well with that. Like Barney could go like very easily in your name, and it fits because there's alliteration with all the other B words in there. I don't know how Bagman would do as play-by-play though. And I think he's pretty content with being on the radio. I don't know that he even wants to do TV. Earlston would be Daytona, Dega, Cleveland. Like Cleveland street course, or is there a track in Cleveland that I'm not thinking of? Bristol, Martinsville, Montreal, Carthage. That's one I wouldn't have thought of. Eldora, Pocono, Phoenix. I like most of them. Definitely Daytona, Dega, Bristol, Martinsville. I'd say definitely no to Pocono and Phoenix. I don't think they put on a good enough show. Montreal would be a good one though. I think that'd be the good one road course. So what is that? 5 for the dirt. If we're doing a dirt race, I would actually say the Terre Haute Action Track in Terre Haute, Indiana. So that would be 6. Let's say 1.5 miles. So we'll do Chicago. There's 7, so I need 3 more. We'll do all short tracks because I think that's the right call. Oh, they almost missed the green flag. Green flag's back out. Corey is really fighting Ty. Ty tried to chop him off, and he said no. Corey sends it deep on the inside. He hasn't cleared Ty, though. Ty's got the run on the outside off of 2. Corey's going to try to drag him back with the side draft. Corey deep into 3 again. Ty's going to have the run on the... Oh, Corey's loose on the inside. Almost lost it. Keeps it straight, though. Now he's inside Mayer for 2nd. Falls back into 3rd. Caution is out. They're wrecking big off of 4. Trotter, Kitzmiller. Oh, Trotter hard into the inside wall. Already had big damage. And somebody else... Brandon Varney.
3 drivers inside the top 10. You can see the damage on Varney's machine, but it looks like Gracie Trotter in the 25 took the biggest hit of all. She's able to climb out of that race car from the Venturini Motorsports stables.
Those cars restarted 7th, 8th, and 9th, I believe, on the restart.
Kitzmiller, a lot of damage to that 97 on the front end.
A lot of damage. He came into pits again. He and Greg Van Alst just came off pit road. They pitted for the 2nd time under this caution. We always restart.
Don't get me started on Barney. That's right. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, Cleveland at the airport was what I figured you meant.
Just taking a moment. That was a hard hit.
Oh, I figured Carthage was in... Isn't there a track in Carthage in Canada?
He was running 8th.
There's a Carthage in Asia? I didn't even know about that one.
The 25, a trotter was scored a lap down at that time, just behind him.
No, Ty has not led every lap. Corey led the first 2 laps, I think, and then Varney and Sieg each got a lap under caution, I think. I'm not 100% sure. They haven't showed a replay yet, Lindsay. All I know is Varney, Kitzmiller, and Trotter all wrecked big off of 4.
There's Gracie.
Not tonight. West is at Irwindale tomorrow, Earl. And then Main Arc is at Springfield again on Sunday. So we've got 3 nights in a row of races. Or 3 days in a row. Because Sunday's in the afternoon.
After his ARCA debut and the number 02 for Young's Motorsports at Bruce Cook. So want to pay off that story while we had a second year with Connor Mozak. I think we scored about 16th in the final rundown.
I feel like they're still scrambling to find a replay. Because they still haven't showed one.
From Corey Heim was trying to take advantage of the situation. A smart move by Corey Heim. Knows that if the 18 gets
Where
out
where are your broadcasters?
So there's Corey Heim. He's right there. Lost the spot to Sam Mayer.
Joy, Boyer, Bestwick.
Out, but we want to take a look at this restart because Heim took
I don't know who Aaron Bates is. And again, I think you've got the same problem Moffatcast did. Mike Joy and Alan Bestwick are both play-by-play guys, so that wouldn't really work out all that well. You can really only have one play-by-play guy. Otherwise, I mean, if we're talking about who's good in the booth, I would agree. Bestwick, Joy, and Boyer are all good. You couldn't really do that as one booth, though.
And then look at this crowd again.
Yeah, and that's on purpose to try to disturb the air, and it certainly did it for the 18 on the 20. So both of these kids trying to use whatever they can to try to slow each other down.
I don't know. We're playing plenty of replays of Corey and Ty for the lead, but oh, here we go. Well, it had already basically happened at this point. Still no idea how this happened because it was just finishing. Is that the best replay we've got?
Yeah, Michael Sutton doing a good job right here, showing us exactly what happened. That's the aftermath.
Yeah, again, it's already happening at that point. No idea what happened.
And the 25 of Trotter. Dave Reef, a lot going on.
I do have Peacock.
Indeed, we saw
and I would recommend everybody get Peacock before next year because with NBCSN going away, NBC Sports Gold is probably going to go away, which means all the Trackpass stuff is probably going to end up on Peacock next year. Oh, in Africa.
We just simply don't have the fire-off speed that some of these
I know where Carthage in Africa is. Didn't know they had a racetrack.
To be very, very intrigued and paying close attention here. These cars get set to go green again.
I gotta wonder on that one because other than
okay, lay it on me, Dibslin.
Ty Gibbs has been phenomenal on the restart.
Yeah, that's mine is free too since I have Xfinity, even though it's hillbilly internet half the time.
If they're missing a little, it's still more than most have in terms of firing off on those restarts. What it did.
Fox is Joy, Larry Mack, DW, Bergeron on pit road. DW in his prime, I would agree with that. Later DW, I don't know about that. Early DW, like early, mid, late 2000s, I'd agree with that. But if we're talking about DW right before he retired,
At what point do you say, if the 20 wants to lead a lap, go ahead and let him. We know we got a really good piece. You can pass it back on the racetrack.
So we have some considerations in terms of the Reese's Sweet move of the race.
See, Casey's a perfect example. Casey's at the track, so he's loving this race.
On Corey Heim, but this was a good battle as well. And you can say
since we've got Casey's alter ego in the chat right now. NBC. Oh, for a second I thought you meant Rick Allen. That was really going to surprise me out of you. Alan Bestwick, yes. Wally, BP, and Burnsy on pit road. Okay, that's a good one.
That white line on the inside of the backstretch. That's how low Corey got, and that's how Ty came all the way down to him and made his arc so weird, entry so weird to turn 3. Corey could do nothing but hang on because that car washed up quickly.
There you
right
go.
Behind this mess of 5 cars, a lot of damage behind him.
Yeah, Prime DW was good.
This 5th caution.
I mean, there was at least a solid 10, 12 years where he was really good in the booth. And then as he got older, it was not so good.
Trotter and Brandon Varney, the track is trying to clean up this mess down there in the corner. That'll allow us to take a quick break, but
we've still got 20 laps to go. We're working lap. Wait, I just noticed,
They reviewed the tape and they went back and put the 20 ahead of the 23.
Hang on.
So it'll be and Corey going at it.
I'm going to have to keep this window open.
Phenomenal year. So
oh, wait a minute. What?
5 total wins this year here for the
What is happening?
The 20, the Craftsman machine for Venturini Motorsports and Corey Heim out of Georgia.
Because I just noticed the timing and scoring hadn't updated since I put it up there. I'm going to have to, like, leave the window open. Hang on, what if I do this? Can we get rid of this? I gotta figure some way out here, because I gotta keep the window open, apparently, so it updates for you guys. Now I've gotta... How's that look? Okay, I think that's the best we're gonna get it. Okay, and then I've gotta leave it open like that. Okay. I think... yeah, I just realized that hadn't been updating for you. I don't know why. Apparently I gotta leave the window open, otherwise it's not gonna update in Streamlabs for some reason. What did I miss over here? We went to the stream. yeah, he kind of did.
Championship is back. Watch the best pro motocross riders take on the most challenging outdoor tracks. MAVTV brings you the first motos live. With new champions Zach Osborne and Dylan Ferrandis, could this be the beginning of a new era? See every lap of Moto1 action live. Check MAVTV.com for your times.
Yeah, I don't actually know who runs the ARCA Twitter. It's not Charlie. I don't know who actually runs it.
Tomorrow from Budds Creek, Maryland. But today we're at Michigan International Speedway with the ARCA Menard Series, and we'll wind up the weekend on Sunday when we go to the Springfield Mile in Illinois. Trouble for Nick Sanchez. Sanchez having such a great run here today, and they are up under the hood.
Oh no! Sanchez has the hood up.
There, and I'm surprised to see him on pit road. He was going to restart this race in the 6th position.
Every time he's got a good day, something happens to mess it up. I feel so bad for him. He's shown this year that he's got the talent. He just needs equipment underneath him, and Rev for a lot of the season doesn't seem to be really putting that equipment underneath him. So your front row once again is going to be Ty Gibbs and Corey Heim, and we're going to restart with 17 to go, maybe. So this could get interesting.
The world's fastest half mile at Winchester. Let's fire him up.
Gibbs on a tear after spinning a car from the lead. Let's get some laps clicked off.
In the wall he goes, and it also collects Nick Sanchez.
Ty Gibbs saw his chance to say, if you want to hesitate at all, I need to be on this. I need to get my spot. A la Corey Heim and Elko.
Back to back at the world's fastest half mile for Ty Gibbs in the ARCA Menard Series. So I think we'll see a little bit different outcome here today. That bump and run. That some people.
Will we? Are you sure about that? They've already been physical today. It wouldn't surprise me, Bob. It wouldn't surprise me.
On some slower traffic, that forced Corey Heim to lift a little bit, try to go to the inside of that Moffitt, and that allowed the front bumper of Ty Gibbs to connect with Corey Heim. A lot of talk on social media about who was to blame right there. A lot of the blame went to Ty Gibbs, and Corey Heim admitted that he was frustrated with that 18 car when the 18 was celebrating a victory lane.
Yeah, we're going to see how that plays out here, right now in real time at Michigan on this restart with 18 laps to go. These two leaders are going to have that weaving car behind him, Sam Mayer, to contend with, that blue and white number 23. He's got nothing to lose here. It's a part-time schedule. He's trying to learn Michigan. He'd love to add a trophy to his trophy case for Brett Holmes Racing, the defending series champ who ran second here last year in this 23 team.
Now, remember what happened.
All right, lights are out.
On the opening lap.
We're going to go green on lap 83. This might be Corey's last chance. What does he do here? Mayer and C are going to be row 2.
Does Corey Heim remember that opening lap battle between those two drivers?
I would quickly say Corey Heim has an advantage.
I don't think Richmond had any injuries. Not that I'm aware of.
He had to feather his way through to get to the inside of Ty.
West race is at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, Earl. And green flag's out.
Ty Gibbs hold off Corey Heim.
Ty gets a pretty good jump. He has already cleared Corey coming out of the tri-oval. Corey's going to take a peek. Not going to be able to get there, though. And that, again, may have been Corey's last chance.
I don't know why that Gibbs machine and that team was worried about the restart, because he had a good one right there.
Corey, though, keeping it right there on the bumper down the backstretch. They're both going to get a pretty shallow entry into 3. Both going to wash up a little bit. Mayer, though, pulls it right down to the inside. He's going to look for second on Corey. Corey's going to pull down, try to side draft. And it looks like Corey's actually going to hold on to second as they enter 1.
But I believe the angle at which Corey Heim took the 20 into turn 3 hurt him dearly, because since he went in and entered so low, it kind of pushed him up the racetrack and he lost some ground. Sam Mayer was almost able to take over that spot. And now Nick Sanchez, he was on pit road. You saw some fluid being put in the power steering reservoir, and now Sanchez moving back through.
Yeah, I don't know, Rebecca.
Back to third.
They haven't said anything about it.
Again, that Bounty Rookie Challenge, sitting third in the points right here, could make up a lot of points in the General Tire.
Must not have been anything major.
And he's really looking strong here, Bob. This is his best run this far. Came down the pit road, not a whole lot of discussion on the radio. Matter of fact, get it done. This team's really done.
Sanchez is all the way back to third. So apparently he's not done yet.
Let's take a look at the auto park replay of the angle at which the 20 of Corey Heim went into that third corner.
This is after the restart. Gibbs had the lead outright, but as he went down to the inside of Gibbs, Gibbs just faded down to the inside just enough to say, Corey, if you wanted to get that low, and Corey got those lefts below the white line. That really messed up the corner. Good call on that one, Bob.
Sam Mayer almost took over the spot for good. Corey Heim able to use that air to keep him slowed down just a touch. And now Heim.
Oh, Heim back to the back bumper of Gibbs. This may not be over yet.
Heim looked to take a shot there, couldn't get it done.
I think Corey might be faster right now. He's just got to get the momentum to get to Gibbs. And he's actually going to be able to make the pass when he gets there. Because he's fallen off a little bit again, but he was able to get back to the bumper. So this may not be done yet.
Ty Gibbs and Corey Heim waging that war once again. Heim was able to close in after losing that.
Going to be 13 laps to go this time.
We're closing in on 10 laps to go.
Actually, yeah, it did, come to think of it.
Time by Ty Gibbs. These two teams have been far and away the premier teams to race all season long. All but one of the 13 races thus far have been won by one of these two drivers. Corey Heim's worst finish is a 7th. The only finish outside the top 10.
It just might be Heim time, Dibslin. It just might be. Because he is inching back closer again. That gap is noticeably shrinking once again. Corey is closing into Ty again here. 12 laps to go.
Yeah, there's a certain age limit on certain tracks, Daytona, Talladega, Kansas, but there are other...
He's there to the bumper into one. Well, I say to the bumper. He's got about a car length.
And other tracks that are big and really great learning tools for these young drivers, including Phoenix, that we ran here in March.
Ty tries to break the draft down the backstretch. Ty gapped him a little bit there through 3 and 4.
As he tries to close in, Corey Heim, will he take that outside groove? And
This could get interesting. 11 to go.
Gibbs has the speed, but lower through turns 1 and 2 at that time. Heim is coming.
Heim learning what he needs to do right here.
How many times have we seen this season? It's a race that far and away looks like it should be a Ty Gibbs runaway. He does for most of the race. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Corey is there at the end of the race. How many times have we seen that this season? He may not be able to finish it off this time, but he's giving him a run for his money right now. He's cut it back to a car length again. Weaving down the backstretch, trying to break the draft. Corey's going to send it deep into 3. Oh, Brad Smith. Ooh. Brad Smith was going super slow on the inside where Corey was, and that was almost bad. Didn't look like Corey even lifted, though. He didn't lose any time to Ty, and he is still right there. Oh, he 100% is, Lindsay. 100%. Yes, they do have overtime. And they'll even do a 1-lap shootout if they have to. If the caution comes out after the white flag, it'll come to a 1-lap shootout. So the gap seems to have stabilized at about 1 or 2 car lengths now. What seems to be happening is the aero issues that this Gen 6 style of car has. Once you get so close, it's very hard to get any closer. And that seems to be the problem right now.
The gap now starting to widen. Corey Heim every lap has tried to do something just a little bit different. You can see how hungry he is. Sanchez back in 3rd.
Exactly. I'll agree with that, Lindsay.
Right now, behind Corey Heim. I'm interested to see if Heim has anything. Can he muster up enough strength? You know, Nick Sanchez has been very good this entire race, and now he's starting to close in on the top 2. That brand new race car, pretty good for him. Sam Mayer back and forth, but he has not been able to close any ground whatsoever on the top three.
Yeah, Mayer wants to mix it up here if he can. He wants to get in that fight. He wants to learn more for his Xfinity Series race tomorrow, but also get some experience here and see what that car does around other cars. Yes, it's a young driver, 18-year-old Sam Mayer, but in reality, this team is building towards something. They want to do more truck races. They want to have another young driver come to what they're doing. So Sam's helping them display the power and speed Brett Holmes Racing can produce.
The funny thing is that Sanchez in that 2 machine, the oldest driver of the top 4, he's 20 years old. You got 18-year-old Ty Gibbs leading, 19-year-old Corey Hyman second, and then I can't believe that Sam Mayer, because we've been talking about him for what seems like an eternity, is still 18 years old in the 23 year.
Mayer's been around a long time at this point.
Standings, he's running 5th on the track. He is actually only 20 years of age as well, so a lot of great youth in the top 5 here. A lot of very, very strong runs than these drivers' first trip around Michigan.
And then Van Alst, 40 years young, back in the 6th spot. It just shows
Yeah, that's what it seems like. He seems to be gapping Corey again ever so slightly. I just think Aero played a big factor in this.
He's got nothing in front of him as he lurks back there in 5th.
This whole Gen 6 body style, especially on tracks like this, is so aero dependent. It's so hard to break that bubble of air when you get so close to somebody.
It sounds like a good restaurant that I would like to frequent at some point.
I was told a long time ago, never trust a skinny cook, Bob, so I'm guessing that's a great name for a restaurant.
They're talking about Chubby Charlie's. 4 laps left, Moffat Cast.
Nice recovery for him. Again, a couple laps
You
down.
got the lap counter there on the timing and scoring on the stream now. You can tell.
A rough go at the outset of this one at Michigan for Thad Moffat, the 46 team.
Van Alst was in the top 5 earlier on in this race. Now finds himself 1 spot out, but still another strong run by that CV fabricating team. Greg Van Alst is going to get that itch to come and compete here more and more. Getting the itch to go to the outside of Ty Gibbs is Corey Hine. Can he do it? No,
Oh, never mind. Corey looking to the inside in turn 1. This may not be over yet. I don't know where he came from, but he's back on the bumper again. This may not be over yet.
Gibbs has done this weave, lap and lap again.
This may not be over yet.
Break that wind stream, that slip.
Ty was able to hold him off, and it's back to about 3 car lengths now. But Corey is there. He made another charge. He could make one final charge here. Sanchez is also closing in now. He's about probably 8 car lengths behind Corey Heim. 2 laps to go.
You might say, hey, why don't they go to the apron? Why does he correct way on the bottom? Well, this front stretch is different. It's banked, it's got a big old bow to it, and the apron is dead flat, so it's not a great move if you go down that far.
I don't know that Corey is going to be able to get there. In fact, you'll probably see it on the timing and scoring here before it actually happens, because the timing and scoring seems to be ahead of what the TV's doing for me.
Nick Sanchez might be able to pounce. He's close enough.
Sanchez is really closing the gap here. I think he's the fastest car out there right now. He's just going to run out of time. White flag's in the air.
Stakes at Michigan. Can Gibbs hang on here as Heim closes once again at turn 1?
He's got one more shot.
Heim takes a shot into 1. He can't really get close enough, though.
Really close. That's the best run he's had off that corner. 2 more quarters to go at Michigan.
Down into 3 for the final time. They both sent it. Corey never had a chance. Ty gaps him by about 3 or 4 car lengths off of 4. Ty Gibbs is your winner at Michigan. 8th win of the season for Ty Gibbs. Alright, let me get the tweet sent out, then we'll talk.
Gibbs watching his biggest fan. He comes to every race he can. Coach Joe Gibbs watching his grandson get it done again.
There's something to be said about good equipment, but what a great drive today by Ty Gibbs, doing everything possible. If they're worried about the fire-off speed, yes, Corey Heim got to the inside. Corey Heim got to the rear bumper. But in reality, it came down to Ty Gibbs out driving the field and winning his 8th race of the year.
the team prayer afterwards to thank the Lord for all he's done today for Mark McFarland, that entire team, and Ty Gibbs. But how about a shout out to Corey Heim as well?
Does Morgan Baird have a Twitter? I don't think he's ever been in the top 15, so I don't know that I've ever had to find out if he does.
But it's so hard here with aerodynamics and big speed to be better than the guy in front of you. Donuts for Ty Gibbs as he wins at Michigan. And if you're part of the Corey Heim team for Venturini Motorsports, you hate to see this. Ty Gibbs celebrating once again in the ARCA Menard Series. The fans pumped up. The infield is packed here at Michigan. We will watch as Ty Gibbs climbs out victorious again.
Well, Corey gave him a run at least. Wasn't able to complete it, but he did give him a run. Alright, so your results for today, you can see them there on the screen, but I'm going to go through the full field. Ty Gibbs is your winner, Corey Heim second, Nick Sanchez ended up third, Sam Mayer fourth, Kyle Sieg fifth, Greg Von Alst sixth, Morgan Baird 7th, Thad Moffitt 8th. Jeffrey Mack-Zink in his first career start ends up in 9th. Brandon Varney 10th. Brad Smith 11th. Jason Kitzmiller 12th. Gracie Trotter 13th. Scott Melton 14th. Zach Tinkle 15th. Connor Mozak 16th. Tim Richmond 17th. Drew Dollar 18th. D.O. Wilson 19th. And Jason Miles in 20th. Well, that was a wild one. Not a bad finish for Michigan. I think it could have been better if we had less aero-dependent cars, but that's what we have in 2021, for better or for worse. The Ty isn't a better driver. Well, I don't even know that in this case it was better equipment, because I think Corey was faster, and Corey had the better car. It just came down to aerodynamics.
The sun is setting over Michigan International Speedway, just about an hour from Detroit, Michigan. It's the Motor City with the ARCA Menard.
No, I'll agree. It definitely is the package, Lindsay.
It's his 8th victory of the season. Putting on his victory hat. Down in the cockpit of that.
But yeah, I think Sanchez probably was faster than both of them.
Ty Gibbs get the win on the 2-mile D-shaped oval.
Nobody actually, BJ.
Oh, and I gotta tell you, that splash felt very, very nice. A very hot race car here after burning that thing down. Ty Gibbs, we meet again for the 8th time here in 2020.
Well, there will be a stream momentarily on the personal channel, Bussin', but it's not going to be a truck watch party.
So hold off that 20.
Turn on his mic.
All glory to God. And, my team, they never gave up. They're awesome. That was a good time. Good, learning experience for me for tomorrow. I can't thank Monster Energy, Toyota, and everybody at TRD enough to, help me get here. And, it's just awesome.
Take me through those last few laps. You have to be checking your rearview mirror, paying attention to what's going on. You're shifting lines left, right. What's it like in the car?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's more of a speedway-style race, definitely with this package and a lower horsepower. It was a good learning experience for me. I feel like I didn't learn enough at the speedway, so kind of taught myself today a little bit. You know, just kind of blocking runs and blocking lines. So it'll be fun. You know, we got 2 more races this weekend, so it'll be fun to go do.
Where does this one fit in the 8th this year?
You know, it's definitely at the top. To win it somewhere where, you know, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, you know, all the bad dudes won it, and it's awesome to win, you know, here.
Bad dudes.
It's incredible.
Well, you're not so good yourself. You're pretty bad as well. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
How about Dale Earnhardt Jr. as well?
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson won a few here.
A couple, yeah. So a lot of big names have won at Michigan International
When does the
Speedway.
truck race
You can tell
start?
The youthful exuberance of Ty Gibbs. He wins over his points rival, Corey Heim. Nick Sanchez.
No, you're right, Lindsay. It would.
Best effort of the year with that 3rd place run. Sam Mayer in 4th, and Kyle Sieg, another good run for that kid. 20 years old, man, if he can get a couple more bucks and run more of these races.
Greg Van All, solid run in 6th. Hope to see him more than just Bristol this year. Hope to see him a lot more next year. That 40-year-old's got something to prove after this experience he learned here today to come home 6th.
Thad Moffitt, trouble early for him on a couple of different occasions. That Clean Harbors number 46
Oh, 9 Eastern. Oof.
Yeah, Brandon
Talk about a
so
late
impressive
one.
early on. Worked through an accident to end up in the 10th position.
I mean, and that's even a Central Time Zone race. It's not even a West Coast race.
First time on a big track in Michigan.
I thought the West race tomorrow at 10 Eastern was bad.
With Corey Heim and that 20. Just a great run, but a good run for Nick Sanchez as well in that 2 machine.
I see Charlie down there in Victory Lane.
Having to come down pit road, he might have had a shot at this one.
That's a great point. If not for a pit road stop here, maybe a little better finish tonight, but still a big smile, tying that career best. What's your assessment on the night?
Yeah, I think execution up until that point was pretty good. My restarts were a little crappy, but we got to work on that. But
what would you have done different?
I mean, maybe I could have timed it a little better. I know that outside line, that 2nd row was pushing him really good, and it was hard to stop that. But ultimately, I mean, you know, it was a mechanical issue that took us out of contention for the win. So I keep telling myself, one of these days we'll get it. So.
What was going on in your mind through the final laps, watching these two slice and dice? You're catching them the entire time. What are you thinking?
I was trying to go flat out, pushing it for everything it had. I was hoping they would kind of get together and, you know, drag each other back, but they didn't. So I was a little disappointed there.
Hey, we're going to miss you in Springfield next, 2 days, right?
Yeah, but you'll see me in Phoenix.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Phoenix? Wait.
So a lot going on here, and we'll be at the
Phoenix
State Fairgrounds in Springfield on Sunday.
Dirt Ringers.
Is this his last main ARCA race of the season? I thought he was just missing the dirt races. Did he misspeak? Or is he really not back until ARCA West at Phoenix? What? I'm going to have to do some digging on that one.
It was a whale effort, a tough race here in Michigan all around for the Venturini Motorsports. Why did we stop? Team with Drew Dollar and Gracie Trotter having their issues, though. You raced your tail off. How do you see it?
What is happening? Is this Trackpass or is this me? Are you guys seeing any issues with the stream right now? Is this my internet or is this Trackpass having these issues? I'm confused. I don't know what's happening. I feel like this is Trackpass. I don't think this is Hillbilly Internet this time. We can see you having the issue. Wait, I'm confused then. Is it my internet or is it Trackpass? Okay, Moffat and Landon say the stream is fine. I think this is Trackpass having issues, which wouldn't surprise me. So, it doesn't seem like it's coming back at this point, so I think we're going to call that a stream. Those of you on the personal channel, we'll see you momentarily, and then later tonight, we'll see you on here for the rewind show for this race. So, thanks for hanging out, y'all. Peace.